Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Basha with Legacy's Little Luxuries Arts and Crafts YouTube. Basha is a Polish grandma nickname that my grandgirls call me. This is Miss Everly. Can you say hi?
Hi.
What are you doing and what are you coloring?
On this one, on this page.
Oh, a unicorn. Can you tell everybody you have a new kitty?
I did.
And what's her name? What's Basha's kitty's new name? You won't remember, will you?
No.
Anyways, today we will learn how to make our own bumblebees, and I'm using light bulbs that have burnt out. And of course, the first thing I'll do is place primers on it, and that, of course, I'm going to use Waverly White Chalk Paint for the primer. So let's get going and let's see what I can create with. I have styrofoam balls, I have felt, I have some really cute rhinestones, I have some black rhinestones, I have some yellow ribbon, I have some of this trim, going to go with a shabby chic, and of course we have some black wiring. We'll get started. Hit that subscribe button and find me on Instagram at legacies_little_luxuries_arts. Okay, the bulb has been primed. And then I used paint right here and then painted this area black. They dried overnight. The next idea for this type of bulb, because as you can tell I already have the foam balls assembled on the other chandelier bulbs. You just use your scissors and carve out a hole. Okay, make sure it fits. It does. Then add your glue. I'm going to use fabric tack. You can use hot glue, but hot glue will melt that foam. Fabric tack is a very sticky glue. It's like bubble gum. There's a wall in Seattle, Washington, where actual adults have chewed bubble gum and stuck it to the wall. And it's been there for years. Fabric tack has cellulose in it. Cellulose is also in bubble gum. That's why you were always told not to swallow your bubble gum, because people think cellulose is very harmful to the internal organs of a human being. I don't know. But that's why I like fabric tack over E6000. E6000 has cancer-causing agent in it. Anyways, there you go. And then just press it on. Let this dry. Let that glue bond. Now, this is going to be a honey bee. Honey bee is narrow, a little bit more narrow. And then I just painted the foam balls with the paints I've been using. Apple Barrel, bright yellow. I'm using 2 different colors to see how they look. This one's King's Gold by Apple Barrel. This one's a matte acrylic, and they're both matte acrylics. For the black paint, to paint over the metal, it could be any type of paint, but I prefer model paint. But the trouble is, when you use model paint, you have to have mineral spirits to rinse your brush. So I suggest to get you some black Apple Barrel paint. Then you can just wash your brush. But anyways, that's what I'm using for that honeybee. Now this honeybee, last night I glued a pearl bead on top of it and then painted everything black. Okay, this is together with Fabric Tech, but you can use hot glue if you want, especially if these will be indoor bees. I might place some of these on a wreath outside, so I really like using Fabric Tech as well. So that's how I assembled the heads. Now, the foam balls come in a 12-piece pack, and they're 1.4 inches. It's called Make It Fun by Floral Craft. Found these at Joann's. I'm sure you can find some at Dollar Tree. My Dollar Tree's not carrying the little foam balls this year for some reason. But they were. They were also carrying the cone foams, but they're not doing it this year so far. So maybe come spring all that will come in. We are a little ahead of schedule because it's only February 29th on Saturday. Things are not just out yet, but I like to get things done to show you so that when they do arrive, you can run to your store and get your supplies. So there you go. I will wait for this to adhere and then, well, I could do it right now. I could paint it. So let's paint it. Shake your bottle. Shake it well. Especially when you store your bottles on its side. If you're jumping on the bandwagon and purchasing them napkin holders at Dollar Tree and making yourself a paint holder, that means you're storing your paints on its side, so all the pigmentations are going to be on one side of the bottle. You need to shake your bottle before you use it. And just paint these little foam balls hold paint. Just gob it on. You see me use larger foam balls for my ornaments in December. Always look back on my creations I made in 2017, 2018, and 2019. Yep, this is going on my 4th year now. I really, truly enjoy showing and bringing all this to you. As long as I post it on Facebook, get your attention, you come over to my channel and then you start watching my other ideas. And I've received awesome, warm, and kind compliments. And I appreciate that because my channel's going to my granddaughter when she wants to take it over or when I get too old and feeble to do anything. Who knows? Only time will tell. So there you go. Okay, let's continue with the slideshow. And I'm going to get a cup of coffee because this is the next day and it's the morning. And we'll continue creating our own little honeybees and bumblebees until everything starts arriving in March and April in the craft stores. Okay, if you watched my DIY on making Queen Bee, I found this at Hobby Lobby and I thought it was a patch. Ended up it's a pin. When I placed it on here, I thought, well, you're good because later on I could move it around, right? And it could be versatile. However, as the days went by, I fell in love with it. So guess what? I'm going to keep it. and put it on my jacket and wear it around with my jacket. And you've seen me wearing my jacket, and you've seen the patch, and it is the Virgin Mary of Lady of Guadalupe on the back of it. So why not keep this bee, put it on the front as a lapel pin, and represent my background as well, because my grandparents raised honeybees and made their own honey and sold it. Now is to come up with a bee of my own to replace it. So yes, I'm going to glam up the first bee. I think I will use this one to replace with. So let's continue. I'm going to go into my stash. I have a lot of beading and a lot of rhinestones, and then I'll take it from there. So basically, replace this queen bee, shabby chic it up a bit, and then place it back on my DIY queen bee. And be sure to see that video. That video is real awesome, and it shows you tips and techniques and a very frugal way of using the things I use into a mixed media idea. So I decided to use the trim that I used in the body. I decided to go around the felt and then trim it up on the wings. So it'll kind of match the body. I really like this trim. It's only $1 at Joann's, and you get quite a bit. So if I ever want to make another one like this, it's going to be beautiful. So let's get going and continue. Here it is all finished, and there's the little wire. I glued that on the head first, and then I found this flower that I'm going to use as a representation of a crown. I seen little crowns at Hobby Lobby a week ago and thought, boy, oh boy, they would fit my bumblebees heads for queen bees in the future. I might end up going back there someday because it is out of town. But until then, this was left over in my craft stash. So always save your pieces, even if stuff breaks. Especially broken costume jewelry is the best to have on hand. And so here she is. I was thinking of painting all the white black, but I think this will represent it very well on my queen bee. So let's head on over there, add some hot glue, and add this. Here it is all finished, and there's the little wire. I glued that on the head first, and then I found this flower that I'm going to use as a representation of a crown. I seen little crowns at Hobby Lobby a week ago and thought, boy, oh boy, they would fit my bumblebees heads for queen bees in the future. I might end up going back there someday because it is out of town. But until then, this was left over in my craft stash. So always save your pieces, even if stuff breaks. Especially broken costume jewelry is the best to have on hand. And so here she is. I was thinking of painting all the white black, but I think this will represent it very well on my queen bee. So let's head on over there, add some hot glue, and add quite a difference, but all is well. Beautiful. Let's start another one. My second idea for a honeybee, I'm going to loop some wire and glue it to the cutout felt, and that way once it dries I can bend these wings and manipulate them. Now I'm using the black because I want these to be invisible, but you can use pipe cleaners, and pipe cleaners different colors, maybe gold would be great with this idea. But I'm just going to use wire so that they're almost invisible. So I'm going to attach it, let this fabric tack dry with the wires, and that way I can bend them. And that's what I'll do with this one as well. Just glue some wire around here, and glue some wire around here. You see, I just covered up the wire with trim, okay, just to hide that wire. And then now I can take this wing and I can bend it, and it'll stay upward. It'll stay in whichever way I contort it. So it makes it look like the bumblebee will be in flight. You see? You can't do that with regular felt. You have to use some type of wire. Okay? Do it on the next one. Add some wire. And then add some trim. If you don't like the paint, use a Sharpie. The easiest thing to use if you don't want to paint the lines. Cute, 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 cute. You're not going to find this in the store. Those little feelers. I was going to add gemstones, but I decided not to. I decided just to add the beads for the eyes. Nothing fancy, very simple, very easy. You can get into mixed media and add whatever you want, but I just wanted to make a basic honeybee. There you go. Cute! These chandelier bulbs are cute. I'll display them right here. The honeybee and a dragonfly. So if you think this is a cute idea, head on over to your next craft session and make yourself up something with burnt out chandelier bulbs. You can make a butterfly too. You see it, you see how it's coming together. You can visualize the butterfly as well. I had some swords left over from a Game of Thrones craft, so I'm going to use them for antennas. Isn't that whimsical? How can you get a hold of these? How about next time you go out to the bar, they're going to give you a cocktail, save that sword that has the cherry on it. Or if you're drinking a Bloody Mary. I have not drank, and I'm clean and sober since 2011, so if not, use something else for the antennas. But this is a cute idea. Anyhow, find some open lace. Now I painted this black. Find some lace so that the black does appear through it. Now I'm using some yellow. And I picked up this bowl at Joann's as well. And let's see what it's called so you have the reference. Buy the spool. And of course, just have to look in that dollar bin. So, this is what I'm going to do, wrap up this bulb with this lace. And to wrap things up, we are going into the next day, so this video was pre-recorded. Usually I will upload the video the same day I make it, but this has been a couple day event. This has been a weekend project. So here I have this. I found this in my drawer. It is burnt out. It's a flickering light. And this is the simplest, easiest way. You take hearts, okay, and with the one heart make a triangle. This will present itself as that first layer for a wing. Right, so I'm just going to dab hot glue on it. And glue it on. This is mirror paper. You can pick this up at Walmart's. I think they sell hologram paper at Dollar Tree. And then your second heart. And you could just place it right there. And there you go, you have a start of a honeybee. You will see various details and various designs I come up with. But I paint the bulbs. But this is what it looks like before it's painted. And that's all you need. If you want something really whimsical in your wreaths, home decor centerpieces. Now I will show you how to make this dragonfly as well. So stick around, subscribe, and I will also tell you what I'm going to do next. After this video, and after I relax this Sunday, I'm going to make something out of these pots, planter pots from Dollar Tree. Okay? I'm going to flip them upside down and make honey hives. Okay? This looks like it could be a honey hive. Each one of these sections can become a clay pot person as well. I might do that. If I do, I have to go and get some regular pots at Joann's in about the same size in order to form the body. But that's what I plan on doing, either making clay pot people out of this or bumblebee hives or both. So pick yourself up a few if you're following me, and you can start this DIY video. And meanwhile, I'm going to relax for this Sunday, March 1st, 2020. Bless.